How many of us think that yoga is a set of physical exercises geared towards improving the flexibility and stamina of our physical body, and a little meditation thrown at the end for calming effects? See, yoga extends beyond your mat and into all the aspects of your life. Today, I'm honored and excited to bring a special guest to you guys. His name is Wynne Paris, and he's been immersed in this yogic tradition called Bhakti Yoga. And he's a musician with over 30 years of gigs under his belt. His fluency in rock, folk, jazz, world beat, and raga-based music is the basis of his unique and intoxicating style. And Wynne Paris has recorded and performed with many of our most beloved yoga music artists like Krishna Das, GuruGanesha Singh, Shyam Das, Malia, and so many more. He has also played at some of the most well-known yoga festivals and venues around the world, such as Bhakti Fest, Omega, Kripalu, Earth Dance, Lovelight Festival, to name a few. And I hope you guys are as excited as I am. And I've also invited my friend Lisa Pumper, and she's the owner of Yoga Community of Florida, to interview Wynne with me. And today we're gonna listen to this 26 stringed instrument called Sarod, and this is one of the many instruments Wynne plays. See, thousands of years ago, the Vedic rishis, the seers, the ancient yogis explained us what it means to be a human being, and that we exist in multiple dimensions, layers, physical, mental, emotional, and they also created different practices to bring harmony and well-being into all these different layers. And they also recognized that our emotions are as vital as our physical and mental dimension, and if it's used effectively, can raise the vibration of our experience to experience oneness. And this gave us Bhakti Yoga.
Namaste.
Thank you.
So for our listeners, what do you call this instrument?
This instrument is called a Sarod, and it's a relative to the sitar. So it's the sort of the yin and the yang. The sitar is the yin and the Sarod is the yang, and they play together often as a duet.
So let's talk about some of the philosophy.
I like to talk about the philosophy of bhakti because in a way there are no rules.
Okay.
It's really about devotion and love. And at the same time, yes, there are many rules and it's a whole form of yoga, but I think it's one of the easier kinds of yoga for the Western people to grab onto.
Yeah.
Because it's really about loving in the end. And everything that you do is an offering. So playing the song, feeding a person, washing your car, everything can be done as bhakti.
Act of service.
An act of service, helping people. And so that's great. And my Guruji likes to say that there's three paths of yoga. There's the path of action, the path of knowledge, and the path of the heart, right? And no matter which path you take, when you get towards the end of that path, they merge. You can't help but learn and experience each of the three forms of yoga before you get to your final goal.
That's a really good point you brought up, because there was a story in India growing up. We heard that we have hands, so we can do action. And we have mind, we can do intellect, and we have energies, we can do Kriya Yoga, and then we have heart for devotion. So why don't we bring all the aspects of being a human being and experience it fully? So it does merge eventually. Some people start the journey somewhere else, but then they do get download of all the knowledge from the Jnana Yoga perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
I like to think about Yogananda, and Yogananda would say, if you doubt, you'll never know. But if you know, you'll never doubt. So it's our job to help people find that first aha moment, that first miracle, whether it's a record or a yoga class or something, that they have this little darshan from the universe, and then there's no more doubt, and then they're on the path. So, it's not like we preach, it's not like we convert. We just do what we do our practice, and hopefully it will attract people. And when there's enough people doing yoga, and there might be already, I think we can really change the world in a positive way.
Yeah. That's what we're on. Changing the world by changing ourselves first.
Right, right.
Yes. So Wynne Paris is a beautiful musician you just saw, but he also puts up a big yoga fest.
It's called Lovelight Festival, and we celebrate the arts of enlightenment.
And I'm going to link that in the description, Lovelight Festival.
Yeah. So we celebrate the arts of enlightenment. So it's music, but of course yoga is the central theme for it. But many different spiritual practices are involved, like qigong and ecstatic dance, and all of it. Everything that makes people happy, and it's vegan gathering, which is a little unusual nowadays, and there's no drugs, no alcohol.
Okay.
So I think it's sort of like yoga meets Woodstock at Burning Man in a family camp that's vegan.
That's vegan.
It's kind of all over the place.
That's a good description.
A little bit of everything, which is really nice. And I know you for such a long time, and I know anything that you do or you put your energy and your talents to is amazing. So it is an amazing festival, and we are looking forward to having that down here in Florida for sure.
Absolutely.
So it's special people like Wynne that are part of our community and that really make it special here, because we have, which we were talking about earlier, is a new age of artists that are coming into our community, but there's so many beautiful layers, and definitely the top of the layer is individuals and artists and spiritual seekers, just like Wynne.
And folks definitely older than me too. One thing I really love about South Florida, Swami Jyotirmayananda. You have a lineage holding a saint and a guru from Shivananda's tradition. He's like 96. He's incredible, and he's still teaching. So there's something neat about Florida, because like my grandmother, she retired here, and she was a Yogananda devotee. So I think that there are a lot of spiritual elders, as well as this incredible youth culture So it's a multi-generational place for spiritual expression.
So tell us a little bit more about what you're activating, what you've been doing so far since you've been back here. Now it's like this last year you've been bringing magic back to the Kirtan community.
Well, we all get here in a lot of different ways. Because of my grandmother, I would visit her. I mostly played in the Northeast and in California, back with Krishna Das back in the 90s. But my grandmother lived here, and I would go down and visit, and she lived close to Kashi Ashram. Okay. So one of the first experiences, we took my grandmother to Kashi Ashram, and they were so nice to her, it was incredible. So then I started going to Kashi Ashram. And then I'm here in Florida, and I thought, okay, I'll come down to Miami. And one thing led to another, and I've had just an ongoing love affair. So my hope is to really finally, at least be a snowbird and maybe, live here full time.
Yeah.
So just over the years, I've just met, like Lisa, so many incredible people, one after another, that I really find this to be a special, community for so many reasons.
That's awesome. So what's your next big thing?
Oh, there's a lot. What I'm super proud of is we are going to do a Bhakti version of the song We Shall Overcome. I'm going to record that on Thursday at Tony Bon Jovi's studio, the Power Station.
Very
but
good.
in the big picture, I'm trying to develop a festival here, much like Lovelight, but a little more organic, and that should happen on March 28th. March 28th at Ironside Wellness, we're going to have another gathering, and they'll just keep going every three months or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sure it'll work out. I'm sure we'll start collaborating with so many people down here who have the same dream and same vision. We can just combine it through this media. Social media is probably the best way.
Yeah.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, you guys, we'll keep posting and updating you guys where Wynne is and where we are.
I mean, there are many parts of Bhakti Yoga, but the part that has really caught on fire here in the U.S. is chanting. It's a call and response chanting. And so as we sing back and forth the divine name, we're energized by the divine name. And at the same time, we breathe together. You can't help if you're singing, Ram Ram Jai, Ram Ram Jai. Everybody breathes at the same time. So on a level, I always like to say it's like a giant pranayama class. But at the same time, singing together brings people's frequencies. We're all made out of sound, right? So we all have our own vibration, but when we all sing together in unison, then our vibration comes together. And that also helps people reach these expanded states, that we're talking about, the little signpost that lets us know that we're here.
Yeah.
So maybe we could just, sing a little bit to round it out.
Definitely.
Okay. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Ram Ram.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.